Hi all, it's Erin from eBay Mixed Media. It's been a while since I've made a video, but today I was working on my 100-day project, which is 100 days of ATCs, and I had printed out labels to put on the back of the ATCs, like so, right? And when I first printed these are some knockoff labels. I don't know if they're knockoffs, whatever. They're labels I got online. They're not Avery. They're not any of the standard brands. And the margins, I don't know if you can see here, this margin here is maybe 1/4 of an inch, and this margin is like 1/8 of an inch. So they're off a little bit. So you have to load them into the machine correctly for them to print. And I didn't realize this, and I printed 5 or 6 pages, and I can't use them, right? So labels aren't cheap. So I just thought I'd take a quick minute today and film myself as I tried to make these into something that I could use and create some actual arty looking stickers that I can use in future journals, or put it on an envelope that I'm sending to someone, or something like that, maybe as part of a swatch, you know, or a collage cluster or something. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've got my really messy paper here that I've been working on for a little bit. And I'm just going to get started here. So I've got my cheap craft paint here. This is Craft Smart. I believe this came from Michael's. I'm assuming you can get it maybe in other places. Super cheap craft paint. I'm going to throw it down on the page like so. I've got a gift card. This is a super easy technique for covering a lot of your surface quickly. Right? So there's one layer. Let's just grab another one. How about we do some lavender here. I find when I don't use these, they get really runny, and no amount of shaking seems to help. I might have been smart to have put some gesso down, because gesso is opaque, so it will cover the words better, perhaps. But this is going to be an exercise in just building layers and seeing what I can create that I like. Whoa, that was way more than I needed. I'm just going to lift some of that onto this one. And I have no game plan with this, so this is just kind of some fun, intuitive play. That gesso isn't as opaque as I thought it would be, and I got way too much. Not to fear, I messed up a lot of stickers. And this can get, well, I was going to say it can get messy. It can get messy the way I do it and when I do it, because I'm incredibly messy. So that's why you want your desk covered. Okay, let's set that aside. Let's continue with this one, which has gotten more pink. Let's grab some pink. This is pink blush. I forgot to say this one was light lavender. Try this pink blush. Put that down. And I think the words are going to be fine on here. It's just going to add, they're mostly going to be covered, but it will add to some depth and layering. As we go. So there's 3 there with the credit card, or in this case, this is a shoe store card, right? Okay, let's see. How about we do these? Let me move these out of the way to dry. Let's do these with a brayer, shall we? Let's see. I don't have a lot of oranges or yellows in my collection. One thing I discovered when doing the 100-day project is I have a lot of paper, but a lot of it I don't like, and a lot of it I don't feel is interesting. So I think I'm going to do another video where I take papers I don't like, and attempt to jazz them up. So here I'm just using a brayer to move the paint quickly. Nice thing about the brayer is you actually get a texture with it on your page. Let's just add, this is orange sherbet. What were these? Apricot, King's Gold. I'll just add a few different colors here. And I'm not washing my brayer off or cleaning it off. I'm just moving the paint around. Remember, it's a first layer. Let's add, maybe just see what this does. Not sure I like that. Okay. I'm going to let these all dry now, and then we'll come back. So I've got a stencil here. This is a cool like scribble stencil from Dina Marissa. I will link to her in the comments. She has an Etsy shop where she sells fun stencils, including florals. Maybe I'll use a floral on one of these other ones. But anyway, and this is Tuscan Teal. I'm using a makeup sponge, and I'm just going to start applying it. I'm not going to be very careful. This again is a background. Oops, and I moved my stencil, but that's okay. Isn't that a fun pattern? I guess it's not really a pattern, is it? If it's kind of not. Doesn't a pattern imply some sort of symmetry or rhythm to it or something? I love it. It's really cool. I haven't used it on a whole piece of paper before. It's really neat. That looks great. Now that right there would be fine on its own. You can still see some stuff here though. So let's keep going. I'll tell you what, let's grab one of Dina's floral stencils. I can find one. Let's see. Ah, this one is my favorite. What color? What about this apricot? Is that weird? Would that be weird? I'm gonna try it. So I'll just flip that sponge over. I don't know, this might look terrible, but we can try it and see. Oh, it's not really, it's pretty translucent, this paint. I don't think I like it. I'm not digging it. Let me think. So I was having a dilemma coming up with a color palette for this, and I recently did a video on this Palette Scout. It's a kind of a color theory box of cards, and I'll link to that video below on how they work. But the way I used them in this case was I picked some colors that matched what I currently have. And according to the Palette Scout, this color is called Ocean. And then I pulled the palette idea card for the color Ocean. And I'm liking this triadic. So that is, triadic means these colors are equally divided in thirds on the color wheel. So the yellow would be like about here, and that pink would be about here. So that's what a triadic color scheme is. So that's what I'm going to go for. And I think that's what I was sort of thinking about, was maybe this orange color, but I'm not really liking it. So I've got this King's Gold that I think sort of matches, and I've got a fuchsia that sort of fits in with that pink. I think to start, I'm going to see how I feel about this. Again, going a little darker maybe. Well, I'm gonna keep going. It's not my favorite, but I'm just gonna keep going. I do love this stencil though. It makes really great flowers. Oops, I just dipped into that apricot again. So I'm just putting this all over the page, easy peasy. I honestly can't tell the difference between the apricot and the King's Gold. All right, next, I want to get this fuchsia in here, and I'm trying to think of how I'd like to do that. Many of you know I love playing with a Nerf dart. This is from my kids' Nerf guns. My kids in their 20s now. So I have some of this fuchsia color here, and I am just going to use this Nerf dart to pop some color, this color here. And if I'm strategic, I could sort of cover up some of these words that maybe I don't want really showing through. What do we think of that color together? I think it's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Not colors I would ever put together, but I think they look pretty cool. I kind of like it. So now what's fun with this Palette Scout is I can start playing with these colors. So this one, according to Palette Scout, is called Ibis. And here you can see the variety of colors in that color family just by adding whites and blacks to the color. This is sort of the pure form. You can get a huge variety of color. So I'm liking that. And it's going to match because it's all in that same Ibis color family. So I have a metallic that I think I'm going to try. The question is how and what do I want to put that on with? I've got these great mandalas stencils. I just love layering stencils, so let's do that. And we'll see how the metallic looks. It just amps it up a little bit, I think. Oh, goodness, probably way more than I needed. And I'm going right over what I've already done. I haven't even really waited for anything to dry. That's really getting cool. Actually, let's try this. Now I think it's fun to finish this off with some mark making. So I've got this. This is fast becoming my new favorite gold pen, and I'm almost out of it. It's called Sparkle Pop, and it's gold, but it's got sparkles in it. So I thought I would just go through and circle these. The ones I can still see. Some are still a little damp because that was a lot of paint that went on. And there's one there. I should have probably put these on last. Note to self. Put these on after you've finished your stencils so you can still see them. But it's fine. And then I've got my gold Posca. And I'll just do some of this in various places where it looks a little Spartan. And then I think I'm gonna get some black in here with some messy writing. Messy writing that says nothing at all. And I've got some white here, so let's get some splatters on here in white. And I think that'll do that on that one. Let's try another one. So let's go back to Dina's stencil and let's try it in this really light cameo pink. That shows up a lot better. And why not keep going with this theme of this color palette here? Here's another fun little one of Dina's. Now we can go in again with our Posca pen or markers or pens or whatever you have and make some cute little marks if we want to zhuzh our florals a little bit for fun. So for this next one, I thought it might be fun. I've been experimenting with carving stamps I recently went to an Edward Munch exhibit in Boston. It was at Harvard, actually, and I was really inspired by some of his printmaking. And so I started carving these, and I don't know, I'm messing around with it. We'll see what happens. But I wondered if I could do some block printing on this one and just see what it looks like, right? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's fun. I like that. So I turned my camera off for a minute and I neglected to film this whole section. What I did was used my, I have a stamp I made out of sticky back foam and cardboard. And I used this Sun-Kissed Peach and just a flat brush to paint and then stamp. Like so. So I apologize for that. That bums me out when I do that. And then next I thought I would add some splatters in black just to jazz things up a little bit. This is black high flow acrylic from Golden. Oh yeah, I love that contrast. That's cool. I do like that. I'm liking that black so much. I think I'm going to go in and circle these because I think it just is giving more of a grungy vibe, and I kind of like that. Notice I'm not even being careful at all. You could be more careful if you wanted to. Going around them twice. Well, I didn't go around that one twice. I'm actually loving this. It's a little bit different for me, but I really like it. I feel like it needs a bit of white as well. So I've got my white Posca, and I think I'm just going to go in and do some like long elongated little lines or drops in some of these blank spaces. I just think that gives it a nice little contrast. That's a fun one. I really want gold on it though. I really, really, really want gold. I can't do something and not put gold on it, right? So how about just a bit of this? Yeah, that's fun. I like that one a lot. So for this one, I've got this great stencil from Joggles. I'm not sure who the designer was, but it is a really fun one that was gifted to me by VT Veggie Girl. And I'm gonna do something a little weird, I think. This is called Flamingo Pink. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but I'm gonna try it. I think this can be a really fun way to experiment with colors that you would never use or put together maybe, because this is a sticker that was a mistake. So you were just going to throw it out anyway. You might as well play and experiment. So let's take a look at our completed papers. This was one I made off camera as kind of an experiment, and pulled off the rest of the labels so you can sort of see them. So that's a lot of blues, and I used another stamp that I've been messing with, that I carved to kind of mimic some of the stuff I saw in the Munch exhibit in Boston. I think this was our first one, which was a different color palette for me, and we used the Palette Scout to figure that out. So let's try peeling this if I can get it and just get a clearer idea. Move these. There's something really satisfying about this, so I wanted to show you. I think did I miss one there? No? Can't tell. I'm kind of sticking in some spots. I apologize if you can hear the neighbor mowing. This is one of the first sunny days we have had in so long to actually be outside when it wasn't raining. So the whole world is out working in their yards, and I'm headed there next. There we go. So that gives you an idea on that one. Let's go ahead and do this one. That one came off really easily. Maybe I didn't put as much paint on this one. That's fun. Fun. This was the next one we did, which I thought was a lot of fun, a little grungy, but I really like the contrast, the high contrast, and I just really like it. And I'm really digging that stamp that I did. So I'm looking forward to using that again in some other projects. Cool. And then this was the last one I did, and I kept this one relatively simple. Okay. And this one's sticking a little more. Oops, that one kind of ripped. There we go. And then just for fun, I thought we could take a few of these and just put them out here so you can see them and how cute they are as a sticker. Just do a little swatch here. Get one that's got a little bit of everything on it. This one maybe. And you can just see how sweet those are. And you could sort of see the words in some of these, but it's really not bothering me. It's pushed to the back. So it doesn't bother me at all. It just adds to the depth. Some you don't see as much as you do in others, but I'm really, really happy with how these turned out. And what a great save to rescue completely ruined sticker paper. That it can be quite expensive. So I'm thrilled with how these have turned out. They'll be so cute on envelopes or as part of a journal page, or even a whole journal page for that matter. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be back hopefully again soon, now that the 100-day project is going to be wrapping up soon. I think I'm going to have more time with some more videos for you and other exciting news in the coming weeks. Okay? Thanks all and have a great day.